ask questions, I'll stop recording. So this is your first assignment for the week. I'm going to present a tab here, and I'm going to show you, this is it. Is it going to do it? All right, so hopefully you see on here, it's really tiny. This is called American Preppers. Uh-oh, and I think I put Modern Preppers on some stuff. So I want you to know if I have Modern Preppers as a heading or American Preppers, it's the same thing. Have you guys heard of preppers? No? If some of you have, if you have, you can say, you can put in the chat. Yes, I have heard of preppers. This was kind of a big thing years ago. Well, not years ago. In fact, it'll talk about it in here. I'm going to make this bigger. So I want to show you how to make this bigger so you can read it, because I know that that was a problem for some people in the previous assignments. They're like, well, Ms. Fun, we can't see it. So remember that you can go over to this, over here to this magnifying glass. I don't know if you can see it. It's a little magnifying glass above. Here's the printer. Here's the magnifying glass, and you can click on it and you can make it go way bigger. And you can even get it bigger than this. My screen, or you can just do your little, sometimes you can, I'm really bad with computers, but sometimes I have a hard time making it bigger. But if you go to there, that's really big now. So I hope you guys can all see this. Thank you, Ivan. I appreciate you changing your screenshot or your picture in your avatar. Thank you. So this is your, I've already made a copy for you guys, so you don't have to make another copy of this. Everybody has a copy of it. We'll have a copy of it. So what you're going to do is where it says type here, obviously you're going to like type the date. You don't have to do the date period. If you want to do your name, you can. I'd also prefer it really if you could also like change the title right here to your name. So American Preppers, those are people, they're known as doomsday preppers. I don't know if you've heard doomsday preppers, where they get ready for doomsday, like the apocalypse or whatever. And what they do is they hoard supplies. They had a show on it, which they talk about further down on here. They had a TV show called Doomsday Preppers on, I don't know, it's the History Channel. I don't know what channel it was on. I remember used to watching it, and these people would make or would go buy a bunch of land, or if they lived on land, they would make their own bunkers. You guys know what bunkers are. Those are those underground things where they would go and they would stock up on supplies for a year, and they'd stock up on ammo and guns, and not all the doomsday preppers do that. Supplies, they would, because that's what they used to do. Like in the war, yep, they hunker down, and now they don't, the doomsday preppers, a lot of them, not all of them go buried. I don't know if you know, a lot of homes back east, because of during the Cold War and things like that, when we were in a war and with Russia and other countries, and we were nervous that they were going to bomb us, like with the atom bomb, and totally wipe out. Well, what people would do is, I don't know if in these old homes, they had like outside their house, they had like a, oh, I'm so bad. They had like one of those little things you can open up in the ground and you go down underneath. And that a lot of those people have those, like also back east for tornadoes and hurricanes, they can go down underground and stay there. And if the hurricane or tornado got their home, they at least would have supplies and things in the basement. We're way down in the cellar. Yes, Javier?
Is it called a basement?
Yeah, but it's even, there is a basement, but there's even another one that's more called like a cellar. A lot of like growing up, I had a basement in my house. We had a basement, but some of the older homes have, yeah, it's got like a bunker. A lot of older homes, like especially back east, it's outside though. So they go outside to the side of their home. You might have seen this in movies. I'm trying to think of a movie they might see this. So they go to the side of their home, and there's like, on the ground, there's like, yeah, it's like a tornado one, right, Cassandra? Thank you. And they pull up the door on the ground, and they can go downstairs because their house might not have a basement, but outside. Oh, Wizard of Oz. There you go, Cassandra. Thank you. So I'll try and find like something that shows a picture of it more. So this is kind of like that. And what people would do is they would go down there and they would store things for like a year. They would just store water and food and supplies and clothes, and they would all have it kind of like here. Oh, you guys weren't probably in school yet when we had, we were incinerating, burning the nerve gas at the Army depot, and we had that turtle dude, and they always said, okay, if the sirens go off, you guys need to go into your like bathroom, tape the windows. That was kind of the same thing. Make sure you have water, because you're probably going to be, until the nerve gas completely burns off, incinerates, you're going to be stuck in your bathroom with your family for probably up to 48 hours. So they had told us, do you guys remember this? You might not have had to do this. This was quite a few years ago. Because I don't know if you know that at the depot that we have near us, there was only, I don't know how many military bases that house nerve gas. And so we were one of them. And so we had created this, so we had to burn it and get rid of it. And so that's what we had to do. So we always had to have drills, pretending that there was one. So if we were in school, we'd have to go lock down, like in the gym and other places, and we would just sit there. And fortunately, we never had issues with the burning. And it took like 7 years to burn all that. I don't know if you guys, you have to ask your older brothers and sisters if they remember that. So this information sheet is on American preppers. And there, I just want to warn you, so like, this kind of talks about preppers, like how, you know, people are going crazy with the toilet paper at the start of the COVID. That's what it kind of talks about on here. Those are those types of people. They think it's doomsday. They think we're in trouble. I need to hoard toilet paper, water, and like canned food. And it kind of talks about that. So we're seeing that same thing happening now. So what I want you to do, they ask you questions. You need to guess your answer. And it talks about here, you've no doubt heard a lot about supply and demand since the pandemic of 2020 began. Perhaps you've seen pictures of nearly depleted, that means empty, shelves at Costco or Target and Walmart and that kind of thing. So you're going to answer these questions, and then you'll read further down. They define it, and then they want you to guess, type here, and then what you think the answers are. And I want you to know, I don't want you to fix them as you go down further. These are a lot of prediction questions. As you go down further, it will define it for you. So I don't want you to go back and change up all your answers. I just want you to guess like when they ask. Use text clues, and then put what you think in the boxes. And I'm not going to mark them wrong as long as you put answers. If you put the same exact answers that they have, that means that you went further down because you got all nervous and you answered what they said. That's not what I want you to do. I want you to take your guesses, put what you think, then further down below, they're going to give you the answers and you can see if you were close or not. I will not mark you down if you put the wrong answers. I might mark you down though if you have the same exact word for word answers as they do here. Do you guys all understand? Because what we want to do, we want to predict what we think. Okay? If you have no idea, please don't put IDK. First of all, that's text lingo. Secondly, just take a guess. Take a guess. All right? If it has a bulleted list, look at all these bulleted things right here. Type here, type here, type here. And when it talks about anticipate times in our time period, the 20th century that we're living in right now, or the start of the 2000s. Okay, now some of you might have not been. But anyway, since you've been born, since you've been little and lived through, right, all the way up to now, what are other things that happen in history that would be called prepping? What have people been prepping for? And you might think, well, nothing. I've not ever heard of it before. I didn't know about this. Okay. Well, then put what you know about right now. Water, canned food, toilet paper, put those things. All right. And then on the next sheet, it's going to give you the answers and tell about it. Like how during different wars, even in, I didn't know this, even like in 9/11, I guess people started I didn't know, prepping. Like when that happened, they're like, they're going to attack us again. We better start saving food and do all those things. I didn't know that. I didn't. So, okay. Now you're going to go through and answer the next slide too. There's something on the next slide. Same thing, some information kind of showing even a prepper right here. This is in the 50s, 60s. It's called a fallout shelter. That's what they used to do for like if a atom bomb or sometime a bomb attacked our country. Okay, so this shows kind of an actual picture of people actually doing that and what they used. Okay, so you're going to answer some questions here. Okay, if you don't know what a prepper's pantry is, that's like their closets. What would they put in their closets for food? You might have a pantry at your home. I don't have one. I don't have a very big house, so I just put them in cupboards. And then you have one more thing here that's kind of a lot of words, and you're like going, oh my gosh, that's too much to read. Talks about prepper trivia. There's famous preppers like Ryan Seacrest. Oh my gosh, I didn't know he was a prepper. So anyways, you're going to read through here. And when it says 8 food items, try your best to do all 8. If it says 8, I'd like at least 4. Okay, put forth some effort. And then the last box, sorry, I need to scroll down here. You might say this is a lot, Ms. Fun. And it is kind of. So this last page here, this is just asking some questions, comprehension, well, one up top. And then what do you think about the future for preppers? And then comprehension questions right here. This last page, this 4th slide, that's going to be the summative part of your assignment. Okay, you can use up what's above to answer these questions. All right, so this 4th page will be summative. Okay, reflection, that means on your reflection, make sure you put forth effort into it. And the steps down at the bottom. Now, for those of you, I'm sorry, I was being a little sarcastic on this at the top. For some of you that don't like to read, or you just want to listen, and I'm sorry, you guys are going to go, oh my God, Ms. Fun. I have some videos at the bottom of the screen that, at the bottom of the assignment that you can watch where I read them. I read the whole thing to you. So for those of you like, you know what, man, I just don't like to read, or man, I just don't, when I read something myself, I don't understand it. I do better when someone reads it to me. I have that available on there as well. So just so you know, that's on there as well. Are there any questions? Oh, I'm going to pause the recording right now. And, oh my gosh, I can't. I'm going to pause the recording on here so that we can ask any questions and maybe you'll feel more comfortable asking